We are taking you into the news right now with the Fox 45 news feed. It's 11 a.m. Those responsible for Sunday's deadly mass shooting in South Baltimore remain on the run. The evidence that police are right now reviewing. And concerns about safety as many prepare to gather to celebrate the 4th, what police are doing to try to keep people safe. And if you are heading out to a parade or to see the fireworks, grab some water and some sunscreen. Just how hot it's going to get, and if the storms could put a damper on the fireworks tonight. Fox 45 News Midday starts now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks so much for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Shannon Lilly. We begin with new information about Sunday's mass shooting in South Baltimore. A special hearing into the shooting will happen Thursday at City Hall. The city's Public Safety and Government Operations Committee will meet Thursday. The committee is requesting representatives from the BPD as well as Monzi to take part, along with the city's housing and transportation departments as well. Now, ahead of the hearing, the search for those responsible continues.
We won't stop until we find those responsible and hold them accountable. We won't. With that said, we need the help of our residents and anyone that knows anything to come forward and say something.
Now, as the mayor vows to find those responsible, Acting Police Commissioner Richard Worley is revealing early ballistic evidence indicates there were multiple guns used in the attack. Police are now trying to identify individuals they want to speak with, including this young person seen on social media taking a gun out of a backpack. Police say anyone with a weapon at the party is a suspect until proven otherwise. As of now, there is not a motive in the shooting, and it's not clear if the victims were targeted. Now, the grandmother of one of the victims is speaking to Fox 45 News, angered by what happened.
If they had police presence, even 2 cars, even 2 police cars, if they were there, I'm almost certain this wouldn't happen. Whoever in charge of the police force dropped the ball and they're making excuses, and I'm not buying it. It's like a bad dream. We're not doing good because you'll never be the same. A piece of us gone. A very precious part of us is missing.
Just horrible. And as that investigation continues, there are questions about why police didn't know about the party. That's because Safe Streets employees were there hours before the shooting. Many are also questioning why Governor Wes Moore has not visited the Brooklyn Homes community. As Olivia Dance shows us, the governor is set to be in Baltimore today to celebrate the 4th of July, but is not scheduled to visit the community.
Other than sending a statement, Governor Moore, Maryland's top official, is nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, here at Baltimore Police Headquarters, they're busy desperately trying to find the suspects responsible for Sunday's mass shooting. The shooting left 28 people injured and took the lives of 2, 18-year-old Aaliyah Gonzalez and 20-year-old Kylise Fagbemi. Fox 45 News spoke with a woman who says she is Fagbemi's family friend, too emotional to be shown on camera.
My mom woke me up 4 something in the morning when I was asleep, saying that he was gone. I was like, what you mean he's gone? I was just with them. I was crying. I was devastated.
While loved ones in the community are mourning in the wake of Maryland's largest city suffering its largest mass shooting in recent history, Governor Moore is nowhere to be found. The governor did send a statement in the hours following the shooting, but hasn't been to the scene in person. Meanwhile, 2 weeks prior, after a mass shooting in Annapolis, Governor Moore attended a press conference in person the next day. The governor will be in Baltimore today for a 4th of July celebration in Cherry Hill. But as far as we're aware, he has no plans to stop in Brooklyn. Retired Towson professor Richard Vatz says Moore's absence speaks volumes.
When the governor hears that the worst violence in Baltimore, perhaps in its history, has occurred, and he chooses not to go to visit the site of the violence, it's a communication that it's not so important.
Now, Vatz says it's not too late for Moore to come in person, but that he really should have been here by now. Of course, anyone with information about the shooting is asked to call police or Metro Crime Stoppers. For now, reporting in Baltimore, I'm Olivia Dance, Fox 45 News, Midday.
All right, Olivia, thank you. Baltimore police say they did not know the Brooklyn Block Party was happening, despite Safe Streets workers being there earlier in the day. Interim Monzi director Stephanie Mavronis said earlier in the day that Safe Streets staff were in attendance and de-escalated 3 to 4 conflicts at the party. Fox 45 News' Mackenzie Frost pressed city leaders on where the miscommunication happened.
Is it part of the Safe Streets protocol to relay that information to BPD if there is a potential threat that's possible at a large gathering like this?
I don't know that Safe Streets would relay that. I would say there is some level of communication about any incidents that are outside of their purview.
If BPD didn't know about this, but Safe Streets did, is that a breakdown in communication within the mayor's office and city government?
Again, Mackenzie, I'll just say this. We know that folks want to make narratives about this situation. The reality is that this is an action of a few who decided to shoot people. Safe Streets was not there, as you heard, when it happened.
The commissioner says BPD is looking into the union's claims that 7 officers were on duty in this police district over the weekend. Acting Commissioner Worley says staffing wasn't the issue. Sunday's mass shooting has some Baltimore residents on edge as the 4th of July gatherings will be taking place across the city today. Acting Commissioner Worley is promising the police force will keep festivities safe.
You will see multiple officers deployed through several zones around the harbor, as well as officers in the districts working to patrol and keep all those communities safe and anything that may pop up on the 4th of July.
Well, it is the 4th, and there is a full day of festivities already underway. Parades in both the city and the county kicked off at 10:30. Then at 3, the city is throwing a 4th of July party at West Shore Park along the Inner Harbor. It's going to have food, music, and games, all followed by fireworks and a performance from the BSO. Here's our look at today's top trending stories. Trending number 1, the Attorney General's office is identifying the man shot and killed by city police last week. According to police, 40-year-old Daryl Gamble had a warrant out for his arrest when he was spotted by officers and fled. Police say he fired at officers before they returned fire, killing him. An investigation is underway. Trending number 2, the man convicted of killing a Canton store owner in 2019 is sentenced to life in prison plus 35 years. That is the maximum sentence. The court found Martin Brooks killed Carmen Rodriguez when he entered her deli in December of 2019, demanding money, and then shot her in the head. Trending number 3. Police in Baltimore County are investigating 2 separate shootings that injured 3 people just before midnight. A man was shot in Owings Mills in what police are calling an isolated incident. Earlier in the day, around 2 o'clock, 2 men were shot near the Baltimore City-County border on Hollands Ferry Road. Police say the 2 got into a fight just before the shooting. Anyone with information about either shootings are asked to contact Baltimore County Police. Trending number 4, in Cecil County, the sheriff's office is investigating an apparent double homicide in Northeast. A family member called to have a welfare check done when they couldn't reach their relatives. Deputies found Christopher Thomas and Ashley Brown shot dead inside of a home on Bethel Church Road. The 2 were in a relationship. Download the Fox 45 News app for up-to-the-minute traffic conditions, breaking news, and weather anytime. Just search WBFF in your app store. Still ahead, celebrating the 4th will cost you more this year. How much people are paying to celebrate with a cookout. And a new scam alert to tell you about. How the IRS says scammers are going after your tax refund. But first, new fallout from that Supreme Court ruling that ended affirmative action. The first new legal challenges to the admissions process.
And we're looking at a very hot afternoon, but we're also talking storms. I'll let you know what to expect as we head into the night for fireworks in my Weather Authority forecast.
Fox 45 News, winner of 16 2022 Regional Emmy Awards, more than all other Baltimore news stations combined.
We are now taking a look at your social stream. The mass shooting in South Baltimore isn't the only mass shooting police are investigating. The country saw 2 overnight. In Philly, at least 5 people were killed in a mass shooting that also injured 2 children. Police say the gunman was heavily armed when he opened fire at 2 different locations. When he was arrested, he was wearing a bulletproof vest. And in Texas, at least 3 people are dead and 8 others wounded in a shooting in Fort Worth. According to police, at least 1 child was hurt. Police saying it's too early to tell what led up to this shooting. So taking a look at how people are responding, Jasmine says that this is just never ending. This user saying, feeling for anyone caught up in this, but it's so boring that this is happening about every week in America. I don't know if boring is the right word for that. Harvard is now facing a civil rights complaint over legacy admissions. The school is being accused of giving special treatment to alumni and wealthy donors, many of whom the complaint says are white. The complaint says practice violates the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and puts students of color at a disadvantage. The filing coming after the Supreme Court ruled last week, effectively ending affirmative action. This user says if Harvard doesn't change its practice, it will be sued into oblivion, relatively speaking. Here's another one. No significant problem with that. Maybe affluent people will donate money to Harvard because they want to support the institution, not because they want to buy admission for their kids. Look at that. French police are still on high alert as violent protests over the deadly police shooting of a teen carry on. In total, police have arrested more than 3,300 people. More than 720 law enforcement officials have been injured in the protests. This user tweeting out a picture. Look at that. You can see that damage there. They say France is no longer France. Here's another one. This is the best part about France. They riot for everything. It keeps their leaders in check. It's the way it should be, to be honest. Still ahead, it wouldn't be the 4th without it. We are talking about Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest. We're going to look at the returning champ and the record he'll attempt to break today. But first, a shocking new study finds more mothers in the U.S. are dying during childbirth. The groups that are most at risk just ahead. Coming up at noon, it's Karamo. Then at 1, it's Sherry, followed by Hot Bench at 2. It's 11:13. You're watching Fox 45 News, Midday. Welcome back. We are taking a live look over Towson, where the 4th of July parade is underway. It kicked off at 10:30. If you are going outside, grab a bottle of water because it is humid and hot today. Stick with us. Coming up in just the next 5 minutes, meteorologist Jasmine Lomax is going to break it all down for us. Trending now, Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin says he wants other people to know the skill that helped save his life.
People being able to see them come out here and learn CPR, it'll have a big trickle effect on the rest of the world.
Hamlin was at Yankee Stadium Monday to take part in a CPR training session. The football player suffered a cardiac arrest during an NFL game in January, and first responders performed CPR using a defibrillator. Hamlin says being at the training makes him feel like he is doing his part. A new study finds maternal deaths in the U.S. more than doubled in the past 2 decades, with Black mothers dying at the highest rates. Researchers looked at state-by-state data on maternal deaths between 1999 and 2019 across 5 racial and ethnic groups. They found the greatest increases in deaths were among American Indian and Alaska Native women. Black mothers had the highest maternal mortality rates overall, with the largest increases seen in Louisiana, New Jersey, Georgia, Arkansas, and Texas. Making headlines, the IRS says there's a new taxpayer refund scam spreading. It involves mail in a cardboard envelope with IRS masthead. The letter refers to your unclaimed refund and includes a phone number that does not belong to the IRS. The letter asks for personal information like your bank routing details and uses strange wording and punctuation throughout the letter. Well, we are turning back now to the 4th of July celebrations and taking a live look now over the Inner Harbor. If you're going outside, maybe catching a parade or seeing the fireworks later, just make sure that you're staying hydrated. We are in the middle of a heat wave right now, and it is very humid. And when you're sweating, doctors say it may be necessary to apply sunscreen more frequently, especially if it's being washed off your skin by that sweat.
In order to get enough protection, you should be using a palmful to cover a body in a bathing suit. And for most adults, that means about an ounce. So a 6-ounce bottle shouldn't last you all season long. You need to apply the sunscreen frequently. And that means about every 2 hours or after getting wet.
And listen, even if you're not planning on being outside for long, dermatologists say the sun's ultraviolet rays can still be harmful.
UV radiation is a known human carcinogen. We know that it causes skin cancers. And with the most common types of skin cancers, the highest risk is a cumulative exposure to UV. That means just coming in and out of the car, going in and out of your workplace.
So if you're staying home and looking to enjoy some fireworks, a warning now about the potential dangers of fireworks. The Consumer Product Safety Commission hosting its dummy demonstrations there ahead of the holiday. The display uses exploding mannequins and watermelons to simulate real-life incidents. Officials offer some tips. Make sure your fireworks are legal, use them sober, and don't give them to children.
When you have the fireworks and they are legal, light them one at a time on a flat, dry surface. When you light them, get away quickly and make sure that you never have a body part leaning over the fireworks when you are lighting them.
Now, if you are looking to celebrate, leave the fireworks to the professionals. It's illegal to set off most fireworks on your own in Maryland. If you are looking for a place near you to watch the fireworks, Fox 45 News has you covered. We've compiled a list of locations in our area at foxbaltimore.com. We want to see how you are celebrating today. Scan that QR code there on your screen. It's going to take you to foxbaltimore.com/chime in. That's where you can upload your pictures and your videos, and it's all powered by Stackla. You can get Fox 45 News in a flash through your Amazon Alexa or Echo. We now deliver your local headlines and your forecast in less than 2 minutes. If you have an Amazon device, just tell it to enable Fox 45 Baltimore. All right, well, as we know, it is the 4th, and a lot of people are wanting to celebrate outside, maybe with a cookout and then fireworks downtown. For a closer look at today's weather, let's go to meteorologist Jasmine Lomax.
Thanks, Shannon. We are taking a look at a few photos from last night's supermoon. I like this one with the fireworks ahead of the moon, and it just looked very beautiful, nice and big. And the good news is that tonight you should be able to see another big and almost completely full moon, and you'll even be able to see some of those fireworks. But a few hours before that, we do have the chance for a few showers and storms. If you have plans to cook out or be outside, the rain could impact those plans, It looks better for the night as we get closer to fireworks displays. 86 for the current temperature. It feels a lot higher. It feels like it's in the low 90s, so we're already dealing with humid conditions. We've got temperatures mainly in the 80s across the state, but notice how it feels. Those heat indices already in the 90s around North Beach. We're looking at 95. So make sure that you are staying hydrated. We're looking at those numbers rising to about 96. That's how it's going to feel today. And over the next several days, the heat indices will be higher than actual temperatures, and it'll be in the low to mid 90s. So make sure that you are staying hydrated. We will have a pretty typical summer pattern with the humidity and the daily chance for showers and storms. Today, that chance for storms comes as a cold front moves over the region. Notice this afternoon, possibly a pop-up shower. The rain chances continue into the evening. Then as we head into the night, we start to see drier weather across most of Maryland, especially the Baltimore area. So it should be good if you're planning on seeing any fireworks. We'll have another round of showers and potential storms tomorrow afternoon, and that's followed by another chance for showers and storms as we head into Thursday afternoon. Notice temperatures today around 92. 92 again tomorrow, low 90s on Thursday and Friday, upper 80s on Saturday and Sunday. Then we stay in the 80s and 90s for the following week with the daily chance for showers and storms. Shannon?
Jasmine, thanks. It's definitely looking like summer out there. Still ahead, filling up on the 4th, how it could cost you a lot less thanks to a 4th of July promotion. You don't want to miss this. And we are not the only ones trying to get a break from the heat this holiday, how it's impacting animals as well. It's 11:22. You're watching Fox 45 News, Midday. All right, don't miss this. We are not the only ones trying to stay cool in the heat wave. Squirrels are suffering as well. In Texas, the animals are laying down on their bellies to try to keep cool. This technique right there is called splooting, and it's often done in the extreme heat Texas has been experiencing triple-digit temperatures most of June. Man, can you blame them? Well, in honor of the 4th, Sheetz is dropping gas prices across the Mid-Atlantic to $1.77.6 a gallon. That's $17.76 for Independence Day. Previously, we've covered Sheetz promotions where they skipped Maryland, like over Thanksgiving week, due to a Maryland law preventing the sale of gasoline below cost. An exception is carved out for charitable promotions, though, so the chain is pledging to donate 10 cents a gallon from all Maryland locations to the state's Special Olympics chapter. That is a win-win. Well, there are lots of things closed today for the holiday. The U.S. Postal Service is closed, as is UPS. FedEx offices will operate under modified hours. As for banks, JP Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo, they will also be closed. Bank of America will also be closed as well, but ATMs and digital services will be available. Well, it would not be the 4th without Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest. An estimated 35,000 fans are expected to pack Coney Island to watch the contest in person. Now, the men's competition kicks off at noon. Joey Chestnut is once again coming back to try and take home the trophy. He's the top male champion with 15 wins. He also holds a world record for scarfing down 74 hot dogs in just 10 minutes. Thanks so much for watching Fox. More Lifestyles up next.